Hey guys, I know I said I was gonna make more videos yesterday, but I was really tired after I came back. And the video that is pretty much coming up next is a very hard video for me to do. I've been trying to record this for about 2 days now, and I still did not pick up the courage to do it. It's really hard for me, this part, because it really affected my life a lot, this video that's gonna happen. And it still affects my life today, so that's why it's kind of hard. But as I was making this video, because I was trying to do it, I was just like, suck it up, Vanessa, just record it. It was very hard for me to say some things, and I started saying some things that I think that is like a prequel to this video. So this video is gonna be a prequel to it, and it gives you some more context into what happened and why it happened. But yeah, so let's get into this video. It's about my eating disorder and how it started up again. So like I said in my previous eating disorder videos, I had this thing where I do not have to stick my finger down my throat anymore, and I'm going to explain that more because it does have something to do with this. So since I was born, when I was a little baby, my parents would tell me stories of how I used to throw up after every single meal, like to the point where my family literally just put some towels on, like they didn't clean up after me. They just finished their dinner and then they cleaned up because it was so common for me to throw up. They took me to the doctor, but the doctor said I was gaining weight, so I was fine. They said that they're not going to do anything because I'm obviously keeping something in. And they just said that it was probably an allergy in the back of my throat, that because I used to cry, as soon as I cried and I coughed like a couple times, they knew that I was going to throw up. So they were like, the doctor was like, oh, it's probably allergy in the back of your throat. Make her stay away from citrus, make her stay away from, acidic ones like tomatoes and lemons and things like that, and it will help. My parents said that I never did, but I eventually just stopped. I just didn't do it anymore. So I was like around 2 when I just like stopped, I guess. And they kind of just moved on from that, or maybe like I was like 4, I don't remember. I stopped when I was young, so I was fine. But every time I got sick, I didn't get like diarrhea, I didn't get like whatever. I always vomit. So like if I had like food poisoning, I would vomit. Like I would never get the diarrhea part. I would never do that. I would never be able to it always just came out through vomit. Anything came out through vomit. So that was my childhood. It was like if I was sick, I just vomit. Like they knew that. And then I started with my eating disorder, sticking my finger down my throat because I don't know, like I just ate and it never came up. So after I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore, I wasn't going to stick my finger down my throat anymore, I guess I activated, I don't want to say activate, but I guess I started up the thing about my vomiting. I started that up again. And so now at this point in time, I didn't have to stick my finger down my throat. I just ate until a point where I had to puke. And it wasn't like it had to do so much. Like I just had to tighten my stomach muscles and it just came right out. But again, like I thought it was because I was drunk or, things like that. It was so easy for me. Like I had like little tricks that I did, but I didn't realize it was like towards my eating disorder. Like when I drink too much and I felt like I was gonna puke but it wasn't coming out, drink a whole bunch of water and you tighten your stomach muscles and you puke it up. I used to do that because I didn't want, like, I hate that feeling where I drink too much and like the world is spinning even when you close your eyes. So when I puke, it makes it feel better. So that's what I did. And it was because I was alcoholic, honestly. And that was what I was trying to do. But again, with those little things that I did, I think it just fed into my eating disorder. And so at that point, I was able to throw up without putting my finger down my throat. And I said, oh, since I'm not putting my finger down my throat, and I was puking like this when I was a baby, it must mean it's just a medical thing, and I don't have an eating disorder. So at this point in time where John and I are not in the best relationship or whatever, I did disclose to him, because we were getting close, I did disclose to him that I had that medical condition where I just puke up after I eat. Never told him my eating disorder at all. Never told him that I used to force me to throw up. And he just thought it was a medical thing. He told me to go to the doctor. I said I already went to the doctor. They just said it's an allergy and there's nothing really they can do about it. So he's like, okay. So I used to have puke buckets around underneath my bed, things like that. And so did he. Like, we had puke buckets around my bed. And it was again, secretly, I was doing that purposely, trying to, at this point, I maintained the weight that I was. I never lost weight because of my puking. I don't know why. I don't know why I can't puke up everything and then it's just gone. But I just maintained. So if I didn't puke, I would have been probably 600 pounds by now. Like, if I didn't, the way I was eating, if I didn't puke up all of that or most of it, I was probably going to have 600 pounds, be 600 pounds. And that always pissed me off, because it was like, oh, bulimics are skinny. Bulimics are skinny or to normal weight. Why am I obese and still a bulimic? It's not possible. There must be something or whatever. So sometimes I'd get so frustrated because I was still the same weight. I was still fat. I was not losing weight or whatever. And I would stick my finger down my throat here and there. But I knew that if I ate and drank a lot of water or drink a lot of whatever, it would come up. And I felt like I used that as a crutch. Like I said in my earlier videos, I think I used that as a crutch to just say, oh, I don't have an eating disorder. I just have a medical condition, and it did get really bad. And to this day, I still puke after I eat. But I mean, I'm now actively in my eating disorder. So I'm not using it as a crutch anymore, and I just realized that, like this year, because I'm talking to my therapist, and he asked me a question about it, and he was like, oh, do you lose your, do you just eat and get dazed out or whatever? And I'm like, no, honestly, I don't. But he was like, next time you binge, just stop and think about why you're binging or what's happening or what's in your mind or whatever. And when I did that, I binged and I purged, not by sticking my finger down my throat at that moment. I just purged, again, from my medical disorder or whatever. And I remember analyzing my puke and saying, oh, because I have a puke bucket at home, I do. And I'm like, oh, this is not enough. I ate way more than that. I need to stick my finger down my throat. So I started realizing that if I don't puke a lot from that thing, that it gives me anxiety, and I'm just like, oh, I ate way more than what is in this puke right now. So I need to stick my finger down my throat. There was this one part where basically I literally weighed my food and then weighed my vomit to make sure that the volume was about the same. So if it was 500 grams, the food was, I made sure that my vomit was at least 500. And I only drank water, so I know oh, okay, the water is fine. It's not added calories or whatever. But I was doing that right up to the camp. And that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you about more, was that my eating disorder came back a lot stronger, and it was hidden because I lied to John about my medical condition. Literally, I still do have it, but I was really just hiding that behind a crutch. Like, I knew that if I ate this much, I was gonna puke, and that's what I was doing. So that is basically what I wanted you to know, that John knew about my puking, but he thought it was a medical condition because I kind of lied. But I hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to try. I'm telling you guys, I'm going to try to make the video that has been so difficult for me to make. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace.